There's always a lot of focus on the top side of a model railway. After all, it's the bit you see. But what about the bit you don't see? We've covered the main control board on a previous video, link somewhere here. But to summarize, we have the rector, which is the main brains for the system. That is linked to the booster, which gives the power out to the track. The shift commander adjusts and controls the points, and the S88 commander is for the block detection. They're all on that board. Connected to that board are a series of network cables coming out from those main devices. They talk to each of the LoDi devices on the network, which therefore provide control and get data back. That's the brains. Starting at the left of the layout, this is the first board with the first 16 blocks and 8 points. In case you're wondering, I've got the camera phone on a flatbed wagon, which is why it's wobbling. You can see a whole series of points there, the MP1s. As we come further down, we have another 16, so we're now up to 32 blocks already, plus another 2 of the turnout controllers, so that's now a total of 16 points. Coming further down, that Minix machine there is for my TV where I run iTrain. We then come further down for another 8 GBMs, that's another 8 blocks and another 8 points there. You'll see another there's a double slip there for 14A and B with the 2-point motors. Carrying on down, it starts to get a bit neater now because the first bit was learning, it's always learning, but I have a central trunk now. So another 8 blocks right there. You'll also see I'm using lots of the connectors, WAGO connectors. I just find that makes it easier. You can see on the point there. Coming round. This is a whistle-stop tour underneath the system. We now start to go along the main back. There's only 2 tracks here. There's still more blocks there, another 8 blocks there for detections, but it's 2 tracks coming down the back. You'll see the blue network cable connecting all these devices together. And where I've got some blocks connected there, you'll see I'm using the WAGO connectors again, similarly here as well. Coming further down, we now start to get to the point where we have the reverse loop and therefore some turnouts there with some more motors, more blocks, more motor controllers. And pause, breathe. We're now going to go underneath the reverse loop once I work out how to move my camera. Here we go. So this is now the reverse loop board. There's another block detection unit you'll see coming up. And the empty shift commander there is because I haven't plugged in those last turnouts yet. The KSM there is for the reverse loop, and all those cables hanging down, that is for my speed profiling track. That will come out at some point, and I will use those empty blocks for other block detection within the track, which I haven't wired in yet. Coming further around, let me work out how to move my camera around. Coming further around, we're now underneath the viaduct. A couple more blocks there for the tracks. Hello, there's me. We have 4 blocks there for Heritage Line, the main 2 lines and the 009. We then come round, so we're coming back on the tail chaser now. You'll see yet more block detection, another 8 blocks there. Some more point motors coming in as we start to get towards the section where we have that very complex crisscross and going off to the Heritage Line. Now you can see MP10s and MP1s and the size difference. I really like the MP10 because it's easier to connect, but they're bigger than the MP1. Here's the complicated bit. You can see all the different point motors there. That thing in the top right, 3.03, that's the power down converter for my lighting. But you also see another block detection, another 2 for point motors. You can see all the point motors there. And then we start to get from the tail chaser coming back to connect to the main layout. Breathe, we're nearly there. And we come back to the third board that we started with on the first bit of the tour, and we are now right back up against the control board. Phew,